Have you ever wondered why brides toss their bouquet or why bridesmaids all wear the same color? Have you ever heard the rhyme, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue and a sixpence in your shoe, and wondered where it came from? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Juicy Truth, where we dive into the history behind the traditions we still practice today. Today, we're taking a closer look at the history behind some of the most popular bridal traditions still practiced today. Number 5. Ancient Egyptians saw circular wedding rings as a symbol of eternity. When you think of a wedding ring, you probably think of a shiny gold band on the left-hand ring finger. But did you know that the tradition of the wedding ring dates back to ancient Egypt? The ancient Egyptians believed that a circle was the symbol of eternity, and to marry meant to spend eternity with one another. They exchanged rings made out of braided reeds and wore them on the left-hand ring finger, which they believed had a vein that ran directly to the heart. This vein was later called vena amoris, or the love vein. As time passed, the tradition of the wedding ring continued to evolve. The ancient Romans began to use rings in lieu of giving the bride money or a valuable object. And then in the 15th century, diamonds made their first appearance on engagement rings. The first recorded diamond engagement ring was given out in 1477 by Archduke Maximilian of Austria. Today, diamond engagement rings are a popular trend with more than 80% of American brides receiving one yearly. Number 4. Tying the knot comes from a Celtic tradition of binding the couple's hands. Have you ever heard someone say they're tying the knot when they're getting married? This phrase dates back to a medieval wedding tradition known as the handfasting ceremony. The handfasting ceremony is an ancient Celtic practice that involves binding couples together in matrimony by tying knots of cloth around their hands. The binding would usually involve tying a knot for each vow, creating a keepsake for the couple. This ritual is still in practice today, often taking place outdoors with nature surrounding the new couple. Nowadays, handfasting is usually an extra element of a wedding ceremony, keeping an old tradition alive. It's a beautiful way to symbolize the couple's unity and commitment to each other. Number 3. The best man was really the best sword fighter. In centuries past, men would resort to capturing the bride-to-be from her family if they disapproved of the marriage. To stop anyone from recapturing the bride-to-be, the groom and his party were prepared to sword fight. The best man would act as the groom's backup in case the bride's loved ones tried to take her back from the groom or if she tried to run away. The best man was chosen based on his ability to sword fight, and he would serve as the groom's armed guard throughout the ceremony. It's hard to imagine today that the best man's role was once so serious and dangerous, but it just goes to show how much weddings and society have evolved over time. Nowadays, the best man is usually the groom's closest friend or family member who stands by his side during the ceremony and gives a speech at the reception. Number 2. The bouquet was tossed in medieval Europe to stop people from ripping apart the bridal gown. In medieval Europe, it was common practice for single women to chase down the bride and rip pieces off of her dress, leaving her in bits and pieces of what she was wed in. A bride did not expect to wear her wedding dress again, and the dress was seen as good luck for single women, a type of fertility charm. However, as years went on, the materials and labor to make a wedding dress became more expensive, making it more traditional for women to keep them. To create a distraction and prevent guests from ripping the bride's dress apart, objects were thrown, one of which became the bouquet. Symbolizing fertility, the bouquet was a cheaper option as the bride would not wish to keep it. It also served as a way for single women to catch a symbol of good luck and possibly find a husband of their own. Number 1. Bridesmaids would wear the same color as each other and the bride, to act as decoy brides. According to some historians, the tradition of all bridesmaids wearing the same color as one another dates back to ancient Rome and feudal China, originating as a method to keep the bride safe. During these times, it was common for a bride to have to travel far to her groom's town, making her an easy target for bandits or rival suitors. The practice eventually evolved into a legal requirement for Romans, as they had to have 10 witnesses attend a wedding ceremony, all dressed in matching colors, for the wedding to be considered valid. The purpose of the similarly dressed witnesses was supposedly to confuse evil spirits that might wish the couple harm. Though some of the spiritual associations may have faded, The tradition of similarly dressed bridal parties was carried through the Victorian era, when Queen Victoria had her 12 bridesmaids wear matching white dresses to complement her satin gown. Today, the tradition of bridesmaids wearing matching colors serves as a symbol of unity and friendship among the bride and her closest friends and family. The next time you attend a wedding, take a moment to appreciate the history and symbolism behind the traditions being followed. Want to stay informed about the latest juicy truths? Follow us on our channel and hit the notification bell to never miss a new video.